guys, this is What If Deku Was the Descendants of the Sanderson Sisters Part 2. Now after this, I will be posting part parts, I think 1 to What If Naruto Was a Werewolf. That's going to be a longer What If because it's going to be my first standalone Naruto What If. So I'm going to be stretching that out all the way till the end of the end of November or the beginning of December. But yeah, so that what if is going to be around longer than my other what ifs, spooky what ifs I'm making this month. Now, on Halloween you will get part 3s to this what if Deku was in the zombie apocalypse, and also what if Deku was something I forgot. But honestly guys, let's just dive right into this fan fiction and start where we left off. We left off where Deku got attacked by a Minotaur after his first day of UA, as this Minotaur would have been sent by someone, but he didn't know why. As he would have gone home and he would have used some healing magic to heal his arm. The next morning, his arm being brand new, he would have a slight scar on his arm, the same scar Deku had in canon from using All for One, but it would just be there for breaking a bone. For some reason, the healing magic would leave a scar, but Deku didn't really pay much mind to it. The pain was gone and his arm was semi-completely fixed. He would have gone to school that morning, him getting to his UA uniform, and him walking into class 1A. Now, the class would have been talking, and eventually the class would have been interrupted by All Might. All Might telling the class they're doing combat training and to get their hero costumes. Now, Deku's hero costume was different. Deku's hero costume was more of a medieval design. It was more something. I'll put a picture up right here if you want to see it. I'll put a picture up right here. The picture I'm trying to pretty much show. But pretty much it was more of a medieval type of design. And he was going for iron or armor type of, but he wanted to be flexible enough to move around. So he went for more of a medieval wizarding type suit. So after that, Deku would have gotten ready as they would have started their combat training. Deku getting teamed up with Ochaku against Bakugo and Ida, like in canon. Now, Deku would have gotten ready and the class would have started. The fight would have started and Deku would have told Ochaku to go up and try to handle down Ida as he goes for Bakugo, since Bakugo is probably the strongest out of the two. So they split up, Ochaku taking the stairs upwards to try to get to the top room where Ida is. As Deku runs through the hallways, up some stairs, eventually coming across Bakugo in the hallway. As Bakugo and him stare down each other, as Bakugo lunges towards Deku. As Deku uses teleportation magic, popping behind Bakugo, grabbing him by the neck and chucking him down to the floor. As he would have started to pummel down Bakugo pulling one of his pins, pushing Deku through the ceiling, making it cough up blood, as Deku would have fell onto the ground. As Deku would have started to dodge and weave more attacks, him eventually getting punched left and right, him being not really an even fight in terms of physical fight to fight, hand-to-hand combat. Bakugo would have started to hand me down, like straight up just whip Deku, as Deku would eventually got the upper hand using some strength boost magic to grab Bakugo and chuck him through about 4 different rooms, like 4 different rooms through about 2 pillars, as Deku would have used some sort of teleportation magic again, teleporting on top of Bakugo and starting to stomp him out, as Bakugo would eventually get angry and pulled another one of his goblets right on Deku's face, as Deku would have teleported away at the last second, and he would have teleported about a foot away from Bakugo. Bakugo would have gotten up, his arms being a little bit sore from the pull or the explosion in the back and the whiplash, as out of nowhere Deku would have came out with a super whammy type tackle to a pillar, as he would have started to punch and pummel down Bakugo, as Bakugo would start to cough up blood left and right. As Deku would have started to pummel him, him just using his normal strength, him literally just overpowering Bakugo, or just overwhelming him with after punch after punch after punch, not letting him even have a second of just breathing. Eventually Bakugo would have passed out from the pain and also not being able to breathe, since he would have been punched way too much in so little time, as Bakugo would have passed out, him being a bloody mess. Deku's hands being literally throbbing and his knuckles almost being completely like scraped off. Him bleeding profusely from the hands, but I'm also having the blood of Bakugo on his hands as well. As Deku would have limped up the stairs, him getting to the bomb room where Ochaku is, as Ochaku and Ida would have had the same type of situation, Ochaku trying to get Ida and a bunch of floating rubble around. As Deku would have walked towards Ida, and basically him using some sort of fire magic, blasting a huge, flame towards Ida, as Ida would throw the bomb up in the air, trying to resemble burst or basically get out of the way, but his arm would have been caught on fire. As he would have started to take it out, as out of nowhere, Deku would have taken a piece of, pretty much a middle pipe, as he would have straight up home ran, I can't pronounce it, but he would have straight up just hit the absolute soul out of Ida's face, just straight up home run him right across the cheek with the middle pipe, as Ida would have been KO'd instantly. As Ida would have fallen onto the ground, him being knocked out clean. As Deku would have grabbed the bomb before it fell, him doing that knockout middle pipe thing pretty fast in about 3 seconds, him throwing it on the ground and also catching the bomb at the same time. Him having a pretty fast reaction time. Ochaku defloating all the things around her, as she would have, celebrated that they won. As Deku would have gone to the medical bay, as he would have got some stitches and some, antibiotics put on him and stuff like that. After that, all the other matches would have happened, as Deku would have gone home or was on his way home. As out of nowhere, the sky would turn red. For a quick second, Deku would be confused on what had happened. He would look behind him, as he would have seen a woman in a purple type cloak, her being slightly overweight with a weird face. As he would have looked at her, her saying, "Abomination." As she would have teleported right behind Deku, as she would have started to, hit him with multiple bursts of, energy or just magic attacks, as Deku would have dodged or blocked the majority of them, but him still getting hit a few times. As Deku would be on the ground, as the woman would have said to just end yourself now, so we don't have to waste any more time on you. As Deku would have been confused, saying, "What do you mean?" As she would have introduced herself as, the other Sanderson's sister. As she would have said to watch your back, and that we will come after you, and you will not be safe. As she would have been interrupted by a blonde-haired woman, aka Deku's ancestor, would have hit her with a huge bolt of electricity, and she would have been sent back to whatever place she came from. So, she would have told Deku to get home, as she would have withered away. As Deku would have ran home, locking his doors, and pretty much casting a protection spell inside the house. As he would have looked around, as his mom would have been asleep, as he would have grabbed his pretty much thing, as he would have grabbed his spell book, him putting it in his drawer, as he would have sat down, as he would have thought more and more about this, but him eventually passing out since lack of, exhaustion. As I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was kind of short, but part 3 is going to be the big finale, at least an hour or 30 minutes long, and it's going to basically be a big showdown between Class 1A and the USJ with the Sanderson sisters, and it's going to bring a lot of things into it, so it's going to be pretty big, and it's going to be kind of a ending, and also it's going to be probably an hour long. I'm going to be introducing a bunch of things, and I'm also going to go all the way to the overhaul arc in part 3. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.